right. So welcome to Meet Your Advisor Day. I'm your advisor, Kelley Stuetz. Super grateful that you were all able to make today's session. I know I've met with a bunch of you already, figuring out your course plan and some other questions. So this session will kind of do an overview of what the advisor-advisee relationship would look like and some other resources that we find helpful and that students ask a lot about. So to get started, I'm Kelley Stuetz. I'm the advisor for biomedical, chemical and biological, and industrial and management engineers. That also includes biomedical pre-med students for their first year. And that's my email. So you've probably seen the hidden curriculum episode 1 on our website, and this is essentially episode 2. We'll go over some academic advisor tips and what that relationship looks like, your advising roles, what you need to succeed, registration at Rensselaer, and campus and student life. And yeah, Kim will be monitoring the chat, so if you have any questions, just fill them in and Kim will let me know. So academic advisors for the School of Engineering. We use a collaborative approach. So I'm sure in the summer, you did not see me because I was not here yet, but you've met with probably Kristen, Karen, or Bulos. And then I swooped in and took all of you as my advisees. So I am your advisor for your first year. And then after the spring semester, you will get a faculty advisor assigned to you within your major. And it's really great because hopefully by then you know a lot about your core curriculum and what courses you need to take, but also you can ask further questions about what research can I do and really lean on your faculty to help you get there. So some of the advising roles is discussing your curriculum requirements. I'm sure you've seen the Haas worksheet that's been thrown around and your major templates. And if you're following the template or if you brought in a lot of AP credit, your template might change and that's okay. And that's what we're here for, to help you figure that out. So we help you with course registration, which is coming up, and we'll talk about that, and a lot of referrals to RPI support services. Your faculty advisor helps you with your plan of study, especially when it gets to your tech electives and then finding a job, maybe doing co-term in your master's program, reviewing your degree completion. You'll have a degree clearance officer that will approve you for graduation and help you with undergraduate research. This is the hub. So 3 of these names should be familiar to you, is Bulos, Kristen, and Karen. And then there's me and Kim, and we're the 2 newest members of the hub. But these are all the other degrees and engineering majors that they have. And so if you want to change majors, these are probably those you would work with. So, like I said, I'm Kelley. I came from Siena College working in athletics, so engineering is somewhat new to me. Advising is not new to me, so I'm really excited to work with you all. And these are my majors. My best form of communication to contact me is probably email. However, WebEx chat is great, even if it's for a quick question or tell me how you did on your test. A lot of my students will just give me updates on how their week is going, and I really like that. Just to do a little check-in every now and then, just to see how you're doing is really important to me. So there are drop-ins like today. Today is everyone's Meet Your Advisor Day. So if you try doing drop-in, I'm sure we contacted you. It's typically Wednesdays. It's always Wednesdays. And then we do have an hour off for lunch. Appointments are about 20 minutes. They could go a little bit longer depending. However, we do typically have back-to-back meetings, especially in the month of October. Consultation month is a busy time and a lot of students are booking with us, which is great. That's what we're here for, and we want to make sure that you're prepared for your spring semester. Where's the hub? We are right in the middle of campus. So if you have CAD this semester, you're probably in our building and you're probably right down the hall. So come see us, check out the lounge. This is where the lounge is. It's in the JEC. You go down this hallway, and then in the door is our office. So we have student workers that you'll check in with and then see if we're available. And if we're not, we'll get in contact with you. But if it's a quick question, hopefully we can, sit and chat and see what you need, okay? All right, some academic advising roles. So I'm here to develop an educational plan consistent with your goals. So for my students going to pre-med, making sure you're on the right track with those requirements. For those in chemie, making sure that you're meeting the professional development requirements because they are a little bit different than some other majors. And my IME students, making sure that they're getting all the management electives that they need. So every major is a little different, and I'm hoping that we can figure out. And my typical answer is, I don't know, but I know where to find out if I really don't know anything. And that's where your faculty come into play, and some of the upper leadership that can help us make sure that you're on the right path. And any interest of research that you're interested in, I typically can find out pretty quickly with our departments in this building. And as a first year advisor, I want to prepare you for working in professional relationships with your faculty. And we'll talk a little bit later about emails and communication. But some faculty, they're doing a lot. They're at a research institute, so their primary role is to teach, do research, and support you. And so a lot of that happening in a 24-hour time period can be really hard. So we want to train you as best we can to be prepared for that. Know what you need in your curriculum so you can have those advanced conversations with your faculty advisor. I also want to provide you with the required materials to support your academic planning and develop your four-year plan, which I'm sure you've seen those templates. We've emailed them plenty of times, but they're also on the SoE website if you need it. What is your role as a student? First, we want you to complete and review your four-year plan. Really, we'll do that in the spring for your SAM meeting, and those student academic meetings are required for you to register in the future. So this semester, your requirement was honor the code. If you have not done honor the code, please check your email. And next semester, your requirement is your SAM meeting, and we will review your four-year plan, make sure it makes sense for you. And it's a template, and it's probably going to change, and that's okay. As long as you know the requirements, that's our biggest takeaway. I want to monitor your progress towards degree. If you failed a class, if you want to retake a class, or you dropped a class, all those things are factors on how we can do your four-year plan. Are you a student athlete? What's your season? All of that comes into play when we develop your schedule. And we want to make sure that your responsibility is coming to your scheduled meeting prepared with questions regarding curriculum, course selection, career options. Like I said, if I don't know something, there's plenty of resources on campus for us to find out. Additionally, you should know my office hours. Typically, I'm here 9 to 5. We have an hour for lunch, and my appointments book up pretty quickly. I think my next available is probably November right now. So those WebEx Wednesdays for drop-ins are going to be really key if you have not had a meeting yet. However, beginning of November is okay. Registration will open for you all probably beginning to mid-November. So keep an eye out for your email for those upcoming dates. What you need to succeed. So we do take upperclassmen advice, and I know you all do too. And this is from Stephanie. Make sure to manage social life and academic life. Staying in the books will drive you insane. We know you're at RPI for a reason. You got here, and it's a huge accomplishment, and we're so happy you're here. However, make time for getting outside of your dorm room or getting involved in other areas on campus that we can talk about later. Developing strategies for successful learning. So a lot of the stuff you've probably already heard, but it's nice to have a refresher. Efficient time management is key to a lot of success. And actually, I was watching a TikTok today of a student engineer who said, engineering takes a lot of time, but if you do a little bit every day, you can really get somewhere. And instead of feeling you're overwhelmed and you have so much to do for IEA and calculus and physics, if we can do something small every single day for each class, it may not feel as overwhelming. So you kind of chunk it. It's psychological too. Effective communication skills, actively engage with your peers and your faculty, basic technical skills with your computer, and motivation independent. So getting to class is huge. And I know a lot of you probably have 8 a.m.s, and hopefully when we plan next spring, if that doesn't work for you, we could find something else. However, getting the class is half the battle. And if you just show up, that shows your professor that you're here for a reason, you want to focus, and you want to do really well in the next assignment. This is just some advice that we've say all the time, but just good rule of thumb, 16 to 18 credits a semester. If you do that every semester over the next 4 years, that should get you to graduation. That also leaves a buffer if you do feel you have to drop a class, you won't get into that part-time status. Full-time student is 12 credits and above. However, you are engineering students, so typically we like to stick around the 16 to 18 credit mark. Time management skills, typically studying 5 to 6 hours a day, attending office hours, especially with your faculty. They should be posted on their door if you don't know it, or in the syllabus. Don't overcommit. I know there's so many flyers when you're walking across campus. There's so many cool things to be involved in, but maybe start with 1 or 2 for this first semester, and then see what really you like, and then you can start signing up for more in the spring. We want you to focus on your academics first, your mental health for sure. That's probably above that. All those things are really important, and we don't want you to overcommit and then feel like you're not doing as well in your other courses. Make sure you're getting sleep and eating. You'll find me asking you, did you sleep last night, in a lot of our meetings? And I hope it's not awkward, because I don't find it awkward, because I really want to know that you're doing okay. And eating is part of that too. So whatever that we can help with, I want to make sure that you're successful. Call home. Tell your people at home that you're doing okay. You might call them too much, and that's, dependent if that's okay or not, but get outside, have fun. This is college, and it's a big transition. You've all been through COVID in your educational years, so this is like the first year too that RPI is alive again, and everyone's super excited to be back on campus. So I'm really grateful that we all get to experience that, and you can kind of have a break. Today is beautiful. If you're watching this meeting outside, raise your hand, because that would be really cool. But I'm jealous because I wish I was outside right now. Another quote is getting to know your teachers, whether you're going to office hours for, you know, context questions, or just talking helps. They want to get to know you. And if it feels like they're super busy, they probably are, but hopefully they make the time to get to know their students too. Communicate like a professional, starting now. So this is just some examples of some poor emails we've gotten in the past. We will always answer emails. However, faculty, if they see something like this, they probably won't answer, especially the grammar mistakes and not having a name below. So pretend it's a letter. If you're thinking it's a letter, then you're already off to a good start. Some of the lingo we only know some of. I say we because that's the hub collectively. There's even things that we don't know, and honestly, I probably use LOL in email, no shame. But if there's other things that I probably just don't understand. So always sign your name at the bottom. You can make a signature in your settings. I highly recommend it. This way you don't have to write your name over and over again. You'll probably see mine in all of my emails. So just something to think about. And professors take this very seriously. I'm sure they said it on the first day. So just something to remember. Like I said, an email is a formal letter, then you're already off to a good start. Even if you're answering email, it's a really good tip. All right, developing strategies for academic success. So, like I said, I will ask you if you have slept last night. I don't know, pulling all-nighters is a thing. However, your brain needs that sleep. And if you feel overwhelmed with a course, If you feel like you ran out of time, come see me. If you had accommodations in high school and you feel like you should really use them now, let me know and I can get you the resources that you need. So every course should have a syllabus outlining everything. I've seen some people, maybe a little extreme, but it's really helpful. They make a whole Excel sheet of every assignment that's due this semester and they put it in date order with all of their classes. This way you always know what's coming up. And if a professor changes something, you can just change the date. So just something to keep in mind. Build a routine and a structure that helps you focus. That usually involves sleeping and eating. If there's any questions and if there's any problems with online homework submissions, let me know. All right, so you've probably heard us talk about the course catalog all the time, but it's typically all the RPI legit information that we will relay to you. So there's other things like Quacks and there's a Haas Pathway website now that are not RPI identified, but we use them as advisors and as advisees as a tool. However, always check with the catalog just to make sure that you are in the right courses and you're following the correct pathway, minor, and curriculum. Your transcripts includes AP and transfer credit. So, all of your APs should be in by now if you had any, but for transfer credit later on, you will need to request those transcripts from if you're taking a course at a different school over the summer and transferring those credits in. It is a process, so if you have any other questions about that, let me know. There's a transfer course guide online as what's suggested that can be transferred in. However, it's not final. So just make sure that you double check with our office before you do register for that summer course. Course syllabus and networking. You're already networking. You're meeting faculty, you're having group projects, and that's all great. The student next to you might be the reason you get a job down the line. And so by working together and really leaning on each other can only help you in the future. And have a better understanding of why the curriculum and courses are listed in a particular order. There's a reason there's prereqs and co-reqs. Obviously, like Chem 1, you can take organic chemistry after. Some people believe it's Chem 1 and Chem 2 and then Orgo, but here it's Chem 1 and then Orgo. So, and I hope that's correct. Kristen, you can correct me. So there's things like that that we have to follow to make sure that you are on the path to graduation. Some of you will have to take 2 exams in one day, and honestly, that's pretty common. If you ever have a situation where you have 3 in one day, reach out to your professor. There's cases where if you have to take an exam on a totally separate day, the professor has to create a whole new exam just for you. So it's kind of a process, but as long as you keep that open communication with your faculty, then they can find a solution. Make notes, go to ALAC drop-in tutoring sessions. They're 8 to 10 every night for the most part. And all of these first year courses have tutoring. Even IEA has tutoring. So stop by, check out their website, and if you can stop by just to check it out and see if there's anything to review, because I'm sure the questions you have, someone else has in the room too. Form a study group and ask and review problems. So I'm sure some of you are in physics mentoring. That's kind of that moment where you can do that. Plenty of rest, as we always say, and eat breakfast and bring a snack with you. All right, ALAC is our Advising and Learning Center. They are located in Academy Hall. A lot of things are located in Academy Hall. This one is probably the number one area you will go to. We have learning assistants on campus, so if we're not available, we are not available on the weekends or after hours, your learning assistants can help you. I have a list of them on this slide too, and I will be sending the slide to you all when we're done. There's learning skills specialists to help with the time management, test anxiety, and organizational skills, and then there's drop-in tutoring, like I said. If you're looking for more one-on-one tutoring, on the ALAC tutoring website, there's a name. You'll see her email a bunch of times. Email her, and they can set up an appointment. Another one from Johnny, using ALAC was super helpful for me. For classes that I struggled with, even now, I should probably have made better use of those than I do now. So Johnny graduated last year, and has a job and is doing super well, but this is something that he said on his way out. So something to think about, using those resources now. These are the learning assistants, like I mentioned, and I will send you these slides so you have them. Other resources on campus that you've probably heard about: our Writing Center, our ComD. So if there's ever, if you're in a Haas class, especially if it's communication intensive and you just want another look at your paper, bring it over, send it into the Writing Center, and they can help you out. Our learning assistants in ALAC, like I said, and our drop-in tutoring. All right, campus and student life. So student life in Academy Hall. So we have Office of First Year Experience, our ALAC Center, Center for Career and Professional Development. They are key to your Arch and Away semester. So I'm sure you all are thinking about that. Make an appointment with CCPD and make your online Handshake account. You can only make an appointment with them once you make a Handshake account. So do that first, and you can start working on your resume stuff, even if it's as basic level as making a template, but also start having those conversations about Arch and what to do for your away semester. International, financial aid, and the bursar office are all located in Academy Hall. The first year experience office houses your class dean. So if you ever need an excused absence, say a family member passed away, or you're really sick and you can't get to class, they are your go-to for that. Janelle Fayette is your class dean for all freshmen. So if you ever have any issues, of course you can contact me and I can give you their contact. I'm sure you've seen emails from them before, so just something that you should know. Then we have our Health and Counseling Center. They're located on campus. They take virtual appointments with physical and mental health. So it's free. When you're an adult, these things are not free. So I highly recommend going, even if it's just for a check-in and learning other skills with test anxiety, with time management. We can always help you with that. But if we feel like it's elevated and we feel that you would really benefit from this office, I know sometimes it's hard to get an appointment, but if there's a slot, I'd take it. All right. There's Greek life, I'm sure you've seen around campus. There's athletics, whether it's NCAA or club level. I'm hoping some of you have been to some of the hockey games already. There's a lot of things to be involved in on campus, and then the clubs and organizations. Pretty much if an RPI has thought of it as a club, it's probably a thing. So check out the RPI Union website. It lists all of the clubs and organizations that you can be involved in. But don't overcommit, like we said. There's undergrad research that you can be involved in. So we are a research institute, and so getting in undergraduate research is key. Most of the time, that happens when you're talking to your faculty advisor and they know somebody that's interested in your research interests. And that could be outside of your major, and that's totally okay. If you can merge a chemi experience with IME in some way, they can collab with others. We have a lot of BMEDs that get involved with the mechanical area because there's a lot of overlap. So if there's something that you're interested in, I'm sure a faculty member can help you get involved. Civic engagement is volunteering. Internships and co-ops, like I said, CCPD is your go-to. They can really help us help you determine your internships and co-ops. I will tell you that some upper level internships may require certain coursework to be completed before you're allowed to take it, but that's not always the truth. You can take an internship next summer and work with the CCPD office to make sure all the paperwork is handled. All right, Edwin, go explore Troy. Figure out what's around, the food, activities, and the community you live in. Troy's a really awesome place. Always be careful, but seriously, there's so many cool coffee shops and books. Bard and Baker is the coolest place ever. It's where you can go eat, drink, and play board games with people. It's a great place. And there's a lot of things about Troy that I still really don't know about yet that I'm just exploring every day. But it's your community, it's your neighborhood. Use your weekends for that. All right, registration. Registration is coming up. So what you should be doing right now is reviewing your 4-year plan Excel sheet that we've sent a bunch of times. If not, if you lost it, go on the SoE Hub website and you can download it. Creating a spring schedule based on your requirements and prerequisites. Communicate with me if you know you have questions or want to make sure that you're making correct course choices. Your time tickets for registration hopefully will be available Monday on SIS. So take a look at that. We'll probably be sending out communication on where to find it. But if you're a student athlete, you will get priority registration based on your season. If you're a student worker, things like that, you could be able to register early. If not, you'll register during the freshman time slot, which will be a little bit later. Some deadlines that are really important coming up. In October, this is consultation month, so hopefully you've made a meeting with me. The Honor the Code deadline is Monday, October 17th. If you have not done Honor the Code, please do so. Check your most recent emails on instructions. This will prevent you from registering if you do not complete it. The drop deadline for any course, but talk to me first, is October 21st. For November, registration will begin on November 7th through the 21st, and then there's kind of a break and it'll open back up later. The Pass No Credit deadline is November 18th. So Pass No Credit can happen mostly towards courses that aren't in your curriculum. So if there's a Haas class that you know that you're not going to use for your pathway, it could potentially be Pass No Credited. But again, contact me before you start filling out that form, just so you know what would happen. December, the last day of class is Friday, December 9th. The final exam begins Wednesday, December 14th, and campus closes on the 21st. We will reopen on January 3rd. You'll get plenty of emails about that. And a reminder that WebEx Wednesdays are 9 to 4 every Wednesday. Final notes. Review your notes, read the textbook, go to your professor's office hours, manage your time. Any general questions or concerns, come see me or message me on WebEx. Get to know a faculty member and get involved in campus and clubs and activities. I know that was a lot of information and I feel like I talked really fast, so I'm sorry. I was trying to make it as painless as possible, but now's the time for questions. Feel free to write in the chat. You can unmute if you prefer. See if there's anything you got. Sure. That ends the session in terms of the slides, and feel free to write in your questions in the chat now.